Hi, it's Wasabi. Welcome back to the channel. Got a battle on the Lakeville map, and it's the 808 from Fiddy Clan. He's in the E100 Tier 10 German heavy tank. It's an encounter battle mode, only one cap, and it's a 15-minute game. So both sides have to try and capture the cap or kill all the tanks. If two sides are on the cap, then the cap timer stops, so you can block if you're on the cap. And for this particular map, the cap circle is basically around the church in the middle, so you can be on either side of the building and not see each other. Now, 808's in the E100, as just said, and he's got the what's sometimes called the small gun, which is the 12.8 centimeter. The top gun is the 15 centimeter gun, which is a bit derpy, but this gun has actually got a higher DPM and rate of fire. As the average damage is about 550, and the 15 centimeter gun is around 750, but much slower rate of fire, so the DPM is a fair bit worse. Now, some players don't realise when they're playing against this tank that that's the case. Here we go, just lost Tier 9 tank to an FV4005, so he must be on the, well, you can just see where last spotted on the road next to the thing. Now, he's just blocked a couple of shots there and got in a nice shot there. And you can see he's just keeping safe from the road area by keeping these buildings between him and any possible avenues that other tanks might shoot from, so he has to deal with the ones with him. Now, he's in the cap circle, as you can see, that circle there, but obviously all enemy tanks are in the same circle. It's not having any problem going through these Tier 9 tanks, some Tier 10 of course. He's currently using the APCR here to make sure he penetrates everything he shoots, and just went through the E100 there. So a little bit more detail there, so we know what we're looking at. So that E100 he wants to get rid of, but yeah, just not seeing it at the moment. But he will get rid of any tank guns he can, or tanks in the air that he can. But he doesn't want to go right round again, because that'll expose him to potentially the FV and also to RV. So, but now the enemy's pushing around the other side, so he's just backing here into the corner. Gets a nice shot into the 703-2, and it's blocked again. Another shot from the IS-22. So the game still in the balance, but they are down on hit points. And now the time is going off in favour of the enemy team, because they've sort of abandoned the cap area. Now he's got a 705A here. Lower plate is what he needs to go through, and he's just setting up a side scrape here so that he can put a shot in. And again, his DPM here will be to his advantage. The 705A's got a fairly low rate of fire, because it's got a big alpha gun, and it goes through the low front plate again. 705A decides to take out the low tier tank, possibly because he doesn't want to be shot in the rear by it. And 808 keeps pumping the damage. He's nearly on 5,000 damage here. One more shot, then it'll be it. Takes a hit from the 257, but it's pretty low alpha doesn't penetrate on that particular shot. So one more shot, I think, to get the 705A. There he goes. That's his 5k of damage. And he's got two tanks on each side of him, but he's got a Scorpion G who's rushed in to help. The Scorpion G gets rid of that 705A. It's some good shooting there. And here we've got the Object 257, so takes a hit on his tracks, which bounces off. And he can come in here and punish the 257 with his DPM. And the Scorpion G just backing off there, takes a hit, but 808's going to come in and basically try and get in between them. Gets the kill shot. Now there's still one tank on the cap, but as soon as he gets on, he can block. Now, which part of the cap is he in? That's the question. There's an E100 has last been spotted, and in fact there he is. So he needs to side scrape, otherwise he'll potentially take a shot. Goes through the front sprocket there. Now the thing is, when the E100 is angled, you've got a couple of choices. Depending on the angle of the turret, you can go through the turret sides or front. And when they're front on to, you go through the low front plate. There is these sort of guaranteed penetrations. Side of the turret, yep, gets a nice shot in, leaves him on a very small number of hit points, and the strip gets rid of him. And the strip takes a big hit there from, must be the FP. And there, pulled it back to equivalent. Oh, there's the FP. Will he get a shot in? Oh, he does. In fact, gets a nice hit, and more than one tank gets a hit on him, obviously. Takes him down to 532, but be better if they could get rid of him. But it looks like, if you look at the mini-map, the enemy team is wrapped around through the west side of the map there, what's sometimes referred to as the slow road, and they've taken out the arty, so 808's recognised that, and he's turning around to defend from that direction if he needs to. Looks like the ELC is setting off to try and get rid of that FV 4005, but that's going to be pretty risky. If he's set up there with binoculars, he's going to spot the ELC if he's on the move. And here we go, T-54's come in, and a Kranwagen. Alright, okay, that's going to be a serious challenge here. You see with the cap time, even though I've got 3 tanks on cap, still 50 seconds to go, that just indicates from encounter mode the overall cap time's around about 4 minutes. Anyway, 808's preparing, he's still got a reasonable amount of hit points left. Strip's trying to get down to set up in a spot. Gets a nice shot in on the Kranwagen, and he just retires, pulls back into this spot here. The strip goes down to the T-54. Gets another nice shot into the Kranwagen. And the third tank there was the arty, so the M53, M55 had taken a run, and he doesn't last, of course. He's taken now a couple of shots from the Kranwagen and from arty, so he's starting to lose health here. Can he get rid of the T-54 or the Kranwagen? That's his question. Goes the ram on the T-54 and the kill. That brings up his 10k damage. But his last tank remaining now, so can you get rid of the Kranwagen? That's the question. And you see the heat haze there, really troublesome if you've got special effects turned on to try and get a good aim. So yeah, if you're really trying to do competitive, you probably want to turn those features off. Some players like to see it, and then they find they get behind a tank that's just been exploded, and they find they can't really aim properly. Gets the kill shot on the Kranwagen, and the FV 4005 comes out and takes out the 808. That's a bit of a heartache there. Real solid defense, over 10k damage, but yeah, heartbreak. Well, a disappointing finish, but really outstanding performance. So let's not diminish the value of his performance there. Did get the high caliber award for the most damage, 10.8k of damage, and a small amount of assisted damage, which gave him total over 11k combined. Would have been a big win 8 finish. Did get the Ace Tanker Mastery badge, so let's see how that turned out with the rest of the team. So 845 base experience. Why does that earn a Mastery badge? And that's basically because you get Courageous Resistance to add to your base experience and also to some credits. So the next best player, it's in the Scorpion G, probably the one at the end who really just put in a big effort there, which was good. And the Strip B, 103B, who really tried to help out at the end to try and win. And on the other side, the Kranwagen actually did over 5k, so really good play there by the Cranny, and also the FV, by good positioning, he got over 5k damage, so he'd be pretty happy with that result as well. But he didn't even earn as much base experience as 808 did. So let's have a look at the detailed report now, because this is what rate plays doesn't give you the full picture, but you can see here the additional achievement of experience gave him, if we look at it carefully, 1200. So actually almost close to 1300 it would have been in actual base experience, and that explains the ace tanker, and it would have been a very good result there as well. So as we mentioned, it's firing the small gun, so managed to put out a lot of shells, 24 shots fired in the game, 23 hit, so excellent shooting there. 21 of those penetrated. I would think if he'd managed to get rid of the Kranvang a little earlier and got in a hit on the FE and not been taken by surprise, possibly could have won that game. But hey, look, there, that's what you get. Blocked 5k of damage with his armor, so really good positioning of his tank, and with the credits he earned, he only lost 4k, so despite all that ammunition being fired, he really just came out pretty much break even. So great result there from the 808. Disappointing finish, but nonetheless really good gameplay. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed already, please consider subscribing. There'll be more good content during the week, and we look forward to seeing you then. Cheerio.